Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Shreya Jadhav and today we are going to learn English Grade 10 Poem 2 A Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. So let us know something about the poet. George Leslie Norris, born on 21st May 1921, died on 6th April 2006. George Leslie Norris was a prize winning Welsh poet and a short story writer. Norris is considered as one of the most important Welsh writers of the post war period, and his literary publications have won many prizes. His personal work deals with such themes as his Welsh home, his past, especially the pre war period, his experiences as a teacher, nature, and the life of the instant. Setting. This poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with the tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from zoo to the jungle and back again to the zoo. Introduction for answers. Dear students, these introductions are going to be really very helpful when you write down your question and answers for your board examinations. Poem. Poem's name, A Tiger in the Zoo. Poet's name, Leslie Norris. Genre, poetry. Summary. This poem contrasts a tiger in the zoo with a tiger in its natural habitat. The poem moves from zoo to the jungle and back to the zoo. So let us begin the reading of the poem. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. So over here the poet is beginning with the poetry. We can see over here that the tiger is walking up and down. Here stalks means to go through, means to move, and he is quietly moving up and down in his cage, and the stripes are very colorful, and he is having very little space to move in the cage because the cage are not that big enough. On pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. So over here he moves quietly on his soft padded feet, which are like velvet, and the tiger is helpless and he is really very angry as he is stuck up in the cage in the zoo. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole where plump deer pass. So over here the tiger should have been in its natural habitat. Means in the second paragraph we are talking about that how tigers live in their natural habitat, which is the forest, and he should be lying over there for his prey to come, and he might be no sliding means moving between the grasses and between the vegetations, and he would be waiting for whom? He would be waiting for a plump deer. Now plump deer means a fat deer to pass his way while coming to the water or near the pond, so that the tiger could hunt him down and could eat him. He should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fence, his claws terrorizing the village. Over here, The poet is trying to tell us that what is the actual real house of the tiger. The actual and the real habitat for the tiger is jungle and not the zoo. So over here, the real house for the tiger is jungle. The tiger should be snarling, means should be roaring around at the edge of the jungle. Okay, in the outer skirts, outer areas of the jungle, he should be terrorizing people over there. And moreover to that, he should be terrorizing or should be frightening the villagers. In what way he should be frightening? With his claws and fanges. Fanges means teeth. Yes, so he might be threatening the villagers with his white teeth and claws. But he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. But this is really very sad eventually to be said, that the tiger is being locked up in a concrete cell, means a cage, that he is in a zoo, or we can say like that he is prisoned. He can only move around a certain length. His strength is behind his bars. Means he is having some sort of limitations. He is not having freedom to walk anywhere he wishes and wants to. And he is not at all interested in the visitors who come to see him. And he is thinking in a way that his strength is totally wasted, because as he is behind the bars of the cage, and we can say that however strong the tiger is, but for this particular time he is helpless and he is unable to do anything to make him free. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. So, at the end, in the last paragraph, no, after a whole day, the visitors comes at the zoo, and no, every people or all the visitor appreciates the beauty of the tiger. But at the end of the day, he is being disturbed by what? By the patrolling, means touring of the cars, or by the police, who is, we can say, no, the zoo security. So that continuously patrolling is going on, and that poor animal is trying to know, keeping on looking at the bright stars with his own bright eyes. Yes, and he is continuously staring and gazing at the stars and feeling that he is so helpless and so pitiful that he is unable to get his own freedom. So, this is all about the poetry. I hope you all have understood. If you still find any queries or any doubts, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.